I must be honest with you all, I've been dreaming about this moment for about the past 2 weeks, almost every night, and I'm very glad that this time I'm wearing pants. It is an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as a senior speaker for the class of 2018. I look out to all of you, and I'm amazed. We are all coming from different parts of Minnesota, the United States, and the world. There are those of us who came in as freshmen, and those of us who transferred in. I want to especially commend our non-traditional students, the veterans, the part-time students, those who came back to seek their degrees, the list goes on. We gather here today embracing the different paths that brought us all to Hamline. My journey to Hamline is one that I will never forget. August 18, 2014 was the first time I had ever been to Minnesota. It was the first time that I had ever been to the Midwest, and yet somehow I managed to take a leap of faith and move to a city and a state that I had never been to before. As an international student from Zimbabwe, I knew that Hamline would be my home for the next 4 years. The question I get asked frequently is, why did you choose Hamline? I assure you it wasn't for the below freezing temperatures, as I had received many, many warnings about the winters here. Julia Stanton, my international student admissions counselor, was a gem. In the months before my arrival, she Skyped with my mother and me, gave us a virtual tour of Hamline, and ultimately convinced me that Hamline would be the right place for me. And she was right. Now, 4 years later, I consider both Hamline University and Minnesota my home. The people I have met and encountered have taught me the importance of community and the meaning of foundation and strength. Without the Hamline community, my peers, professors, and staff, I would not be standing before you today, and I certainly would not be graduating. When arriving for the first time, I was fortunate enough to have my mother come with me and ensure that where I chose to go to university was up to her standards. It was. At the young age of 19, my mother left me 8,751 miles away from home. Yes, I did have to Google that. All it took was 5 days or even less of being at Hamline to convince my mother that this was a place, a community, she was confident and comfortable leaving her youngest daughter in. I'm positive all parents, grandparents, and guardians in the audience remember the day they dropped each and every one of us off, the tears that were shed, the hugs that lasted minutes and were sometimes a little too tight, and the words of wisdom shared as they departed. Whether it be for 1 year, 2 years, or 4 years spent at Hamline, we were to become part of a community that would highly impact our growth in the years to come. In 2016, right in the middle of my junior year, my mother passed away. I found myself in a period of uncertainty and doubt about my future and my ability to continue on. What would I do now? Who did I have to turn to? I had no family here, and I was thousands of miles away from home. But my story didn't end there. It was during this time that I truly experienced the love and support of the Hamline community, a community that held me up when I was unable to do so myself. I witnessed a gathering of all people within the community, from the residential life officers to the dean of students to student services, and the support and help of all my dear friends and professors, all in an effort to ensure that I would have the necessary resources to recover from my loss. To me, Hamline is not just a university. It is a community and a family that I am so fortunate enough to belong to. I've lived and traveled around the world. I've met many people from all walks of life, and I can say in all honesty and truth that the Hamline community is unlike any other community I have encountered. In this space, the meaning of community goes far beyond the dictionary definition. Here, community is more than a group of people living and engaging in the same place. Here, people come together. Bridges are built between districts, towns, states, and countries. I mean, who would have thought that me, a Zimbabwean, would end up in Minnesota? Hamline is a place where we talk to each other. We teach each other. We share ideas and thoughts. I have lost count of the endless nights spent in the Anderson Center with my friends, the times we so desperately wanted for the conversation to continue, so we would search for another location once Anderson kicked us out, usually ending up in someone's dorm room or apartment. We craved each other's company. This is a place where connections are made and we help each other. We are a solid support system. With great gratitude, I say thank you to those that came before us, and thank you to those that are currently here. Class of 2018, we cannot take lightly what we earn here today and the hard work that we have put into it. We emerge with the power and agency to make impactful change. In Zimbabwe, community is a very important aspect of your life. I grew up knowing that my family extended far beyond those that I shared the same blood with. The saying, "It takes a village to raise a child," proved right growing up. However, I think it goes further than that. I believe and know that it takes a village to keep growing as a person. Hamline University has given us a firm foundation in building us up and transforming us into who we are today. That said, the building doesn't end here. I challenge you, as the class of 2018, to go out there and start strengthening and building communities that will withhold the tests of time and the pressures of this world. It's no secret that the Hamline community has had its difficult challenges. But guess what? We have made it through each and every time. Here we stand. We are graduating from Minnesota's first university for 164 years. Let me say that again. 164 years, Hamline has been educating, building, and supporting students from around the United States and around the world. Without the solid foundation that was established long before you and I, we would not be here. The foundation of a community is what matters when life's challenges, some as big and devastating as earthquakes, come at us, some of them expected and others not. Class of 2018, as our time at Hamline draws to a close, we leave Hamline with the tools necessary to build foundations and communities that will withstand the earthquakes of life. The lessons we have learned cannot be left here. I challenge you to build communities that will continue on long after you and I have left this earth. Build communities that will educate, empower, uplift, inspire, and motivate those that become a part of it. Go out into the world, whether it's 15 miles away from here or 8,000 miles away, and build. At Hamline, we take the lead. I urge you to take the lead and be at the forefront of your communities. The challenges that are currently facing the world are designed to tear us apart, creating gaps where there should be bridges, and creating disparity where there should be community. I hope that the class of 2018 will be known as individuals who were creators and strengtheners of communities, individuals who paved the way for those that came after us. As former President of South Africa, Nelson Mandela said, "What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life that we lead." Pipers, let us emerge from Hamline University with every intention and drive to make a difference in the lives of the people we encounter and connect with. And with that I say, congratulations, class of 2018, and thank you.